That's right, I have to play the breaking news soundbite. And no, Delaware did not approve the tax breaks for the casinos. And no, New Jersey did not approve their state budget. Didn't even have a vote on it as of Tuesday morning. It's 15 minutes after 11 o'clock. No, we have worse news in New Jersey right now. I found this out from Pine Power earlier this morning that the state of New Jersey might actually go through with a plastic bag tax. So without further ado, I'm going to take you to the properly edited video with me reading an article I found online regarding this issue. So here's the news article that I found regarding the plastic bag tax in New Jersey. It's going to cost you 5 cents. And the situation is, Suffolk County, I was just there 2 weeks ago back in New York. I already saw the people leaving Walmart without plastic bags, and I had to find plastic bags in our SUV because, yet again, these democrats, and I agree with Pine Power's term, are complete evil people. Alright, they're not looking out for you. So I'll read this article that was posted yesterday. Soon you may have to shell out 5 cents per plastic or paper bag on New Jersey shopping trips. Last week, state lawmakers passed a measure requiring a 5 cent per single-use bag fee for shoppers. The bill, which legislators hope would bring the state as much as $23 million, is poised to pass, pending Governor Phil Murphy's signature. If the governor does sign the measure, it would go into effect on October 1st, 2018. Lawmakers say it would cut down on waste and provide funding for environmental cleanups. Per the bill's language, stores would get 1 cent of the bag fee, while the other 4 cents would go towards a fund for the lead abatement in schools and communities, as well as an environmental public information program, per the Inquirer. People enrolled in the food assistance programs and those 65 and older would be exempt from paying the tax. So, this thing over here, Pine Power didn't mention, I'll highlight it so you all in New Jersey don't have to worry about it if you are in, let's say, an EBT program. I'm trying to highlight it. There we go. Food assistance in those 65 and older. So basically, the elderly are going to be fine. It looks like, hopefully it's not fool's gold, because Nassau County was saying that they would do the same thing in New York, but apparently from what I heard, it's not. Everybody has to pay the plastic bag tax if the county executive Laura Kern up there in Nassau County goes through with it. Legislators were nearly split on the bill. The votes were 23-16 in the state Senate and 41-32 in the Assembly, per NorthJersey.com. Perhaps surprisingly, some environmentalists who have called for this plastic bag bans are against the bills. So, basically, the environmentalists are against this bill, seeing as it would supersede any local ordinance already in place on plastic or paper bag sales, thus preventing stricter regulations. So they don't want the state government doing it, and yet they want local governments to do it. AKA, I think they're trying to talk about Suffolk County in New York. How they have their local ordinance, which is ridiculous. Others oppose the measure for different reasons. While funding from the tax is technically supposed to go towards lead abatement, per the bill's language, lawmakers have written language in the 2018-19 state budget proposal that would permit money to instead go to the state's general fund. In an editorial, NJ.com called the move a legislative money grab, which I completely agree. And you're going to have to hear my epic rant at the end of the video, because I was irate back in New York. Here I am in Maryland hearing about this news, and hopefully I'm going to quickly mention this before I go on the rant later on. I really hope Delaware or Maryland doesn't go through with this tax. Because they may. You never know. We still have Democrats here in Maryland controlling the state Senate. Still have them. Even though we have a Republican governor who probably will oppose any plastic bag tax. Which, again, I'll make that my rant later on. Alright, so California was the first state to plan plastic bag sales in 2014. Situation in Philadelphia, city council members have long considered imposing regulations on plastic bags, though unanimously would have chosen to. Pennsylvania lawmakers are less keen on the idea. But this is something interesting. Pennsylvania, believe it or not, Pennsylvania. I think this should impact me because Maryland does border Pennsylvania near York. Pennsylvania lawmakers are less keen on the idea. They passed a bill that would keep municipalities like Philly from regulating plastic bag sales. So basically, it looks like Tom Wolf does want a plastic bag tax in Pennsylvania. Passed a bill that would keep municipalities like Philly. So I'm trying to review this for a sec. So basically, it looks like there are Republicans in Pennsylvania that don't want the bag tax, which I agree with the Republicans in the Keystone State. But Tom Wolf vetoed it. I'm telling you right now, I need to end the video by going to Audacity just for my audio to not be cut out. And that's where I'm going to make the epic rant. So as you're looking at a map on the wonderful Delmarva Peninsula, which this is a wonderful place, don't get me wrong. We have a lot of good people here. We have people who obey the law here. We have good law enforcement. Certainly 10 times better than New York in my opinion, because I've read up on the crime and our laws do get enforced down here. Don't get me wrong. But this is something interesting I found out from the state of Maryland. I just found a website called baglaws.com. I'm going to read you this quickly. I don't want to show you the screen because it would really kill the point of me doing this rant, but I found a bill called HB 31, HB 1572, whatever it's called. I'm sure Governor Larry Hogan would have vetoed this bill. And here's the thing. The state of Maryland last year, this is updated back on October 11th of last year, 2017, right? This bill would have prohibited stores all throughout the state of Maryland from providing plastic bags to customers. It would have required stores to charge fees of 10 cents for each paper bag provided to customers. So in other words, plastic bags would have been banned. And I'm saying this now, if Martin O'Malley was the governor. O'Malley would have gotten through with this because O'Malley is an elitist. Alright? I think that's why back in 2014, thank goodness people here had common sense to elect Larry Hogan. Thank goodness. Because I'm sure Larry Hogan would say, no, we're not going through with this. Sorry, no plastic bag tax. But New Jersey, and you clearly just saw the blatant example of what they want to do, Phil Murphy wants this bag tax. Right? And I actually found from this website more key details about how New York City was going to charge 5 cents per plastic bag tax back in 2016. And just like how last month, a lot of people in Nassau County were not happy about this, they wanted to do the 5-cent plastic bag tax. You never know with Laura Curran. She may go through with it. That's why you gotta call her every day and tell her how evil she is for considering doing this. Alright? I actually found out Long Beach wanted to do a plastic bag tax. They tried to, but at least they didn't go through with it. Alright, so here's New York City. I'm gonna read it. It was canceled. So basically, paper bags would have been covered stores to customers shall contain a minimum of 40%. Yeah, so basically they tried this 2 years ago. I'm going to try to simple it out. I'm not going to read it that much, but you all get the idea. 2 years ago, the city of New York wanted to do this, and last year they brought it up again. So let me just see if we have statewide legislation. All right, Governor Cuomo introduced legislation back on April 23rd to ban the use of single-use plastic bags in stores and restaurants. So, this is crazy. Governor Cuomo actually wants to ban plastic bags. California went through with it like 4 years ago, back in 2014. So, you all get the idea. And you all get the idea that quality of life in these states are going downhill. I'm sorry for my vocabulary going off, but when I'm irate about something, my words just get twisted and they don't get pronounced correctly. There we go. Now I'm back on track. That's why, and I'm going to say this again. I'm going to say this again for anybody in New York. Please, if you have a heart, use your noggin. Do not give Andrew Cuomo 4 more years. He is an evil human being. He is 10 times worse than Donald Trump. You know, to be honest, Bill de Blasio's worse than Cuomo. But the thing is, in order to take New York State back, you guys in New York need to start waking up, and including me, when I get back up there to vote. We have got to get Andrew Cuomo out. We have got to get him out. And thankfully with Maryland, Larry Hogan will not lose his seat in Annapolis as governor of the great state of Maryland. Because thankfully, if this crazy bill ended up on his desk to ban plastic bags in the state of Maryland, he would veto it. He wouldn't want this bill going through. I know Larry Hogan very well. He would never ban plastic bags here in Maryland. He would say, no, we're keeping the bags. We're not going to force the blue-collar people in Delmarva to go to the poorhouse. See, this is why I'm glad we have common sense in Delmarva somewhat. And for some weird reason, how come the Democrats in Delaware are moderates? See, I've always figured this out. Because the thing is, Markell was a moderate, the last governor. And Carney is a moderate, even though he did want stricter regulations on firearms. That I am aware of. They still have the death penalty in in Delaware. I'm not too sure about Maryland, but I know Delaware has a death penalty. Point is, quality of life is being threatened in New Jersey and New York. And if people don't start paying attention to it, then these issues could come here to the peninsula. And I don't want to see anybody getting impacted by these ridiculous plastic bag bans or taxes or whatever. Alright? This rant has gone on for 7 minutes. I'm at a loss for words just because I've been disturbed to even talk about this today. Very disturbed. So that's it. Thank you for watching.